It feels like art is on a decline, and there seems to be this prioritization of content. And the more we prioritize the content, the further I feel we move away from art. You know, you hear about posting every day, come on, you need to get them videos out. Meanwhile, the quality of what you put out is not great. It feels like a scale that if you want to post more, it feels like you have to sacrifice quality. But if you want good quality, it feels like you have to sacrifice how much content you post. And yes, you need to make good quality art, but that, unfortunately, isn't enough. In today's world, you need to make an abundance of content so people are interested in what you have to express. You have to be more than just an artist. Being an artist alone just won't cut it. And making content that gets views in itself is a crazy skill to learn. It's not easy, not everyone can do that. And you might just say to them, well, just hire advertisers and promoters. Really? You think most artists on the up and coming can afford to do that? Really? There are some anomalies who, kind of subvert expectations and get popular no matter what. You hear a lot of stories of these artists that come out from nowhere. For example, I think her name is Clairo. She makes these like bedroom pop type of songs that are like relatable and stuff. I don't really listen to her music, it's not kind of my thing. And you might just think, wow, she was in her bedroom making songs and she blew up. Well, her father was an extremely successful advertiser. He did stuff for like Coca-Cola, I believe. And so there's more that goes on behind the curtain than you may think. Yes, her songs are good, but there's also a lot of other artists that make good songs and they don't get any type of recognition like that. And I think another thing that is contributing to the downfall of artistry, I guess, is the dangers of AI, which I'm glad people are mad about. Not only is AI making people lose jobs all across the spectrum, not even talking about art, like just ordinary jobs, people are losing them because of AI. And us artists already struggle with enough stuff, but now we have artificial intelligence in the mix that can replicate a Van Gogh painting in like 5 minutes. And people with a good eye can say, oh, well, that lacks the human touch. You can clearly tell it's done by a robot. Do you think if you go up to Frank, the 60-year-old man, and tell him this is a Van Gogh painting when it's in fact AI, do you think he will notice? I'm not sure about that. And the thing is, AI is only getting better as I speak. Eventually the day will come where companies that want to create something won't bother hiring artists because they can just easily tell the artificial intelligence interface what they want and they don't have to deal with negotiations. They don't have to reach in their pocket and pay the artist. They can simply, what they want in their head, they can just type it in and with a few tweaks they can get it much faster. And so it's a shortcut. And so lots of people lose the job that way. I hope with every fibre in my being that I am totally wrong. And I think the thing that's kind of wrong about AI is the fact that it's not exactly creating art. Like, you might be able to create a painting and be like, oh look, this AI can create art, but it's not art. The thing is, AI cannot create art. AI lacks the capacity to just think of something up on the spot like humans do. What it does is it searches around on the internet and looks for other artists and grabs stuff from everywhere and makes it into one. It copies others' works in order to make something new. It's not a creative process in the slightest. It's all to do with formulas, numbers and databases. It doesn't create a unique product. And I mean, you see legendary bands such as ABBA and Tears for Fears using AI. And that's quite a scary thought, I think, because these big bands are using artificial intelligence instead of reaching into their pocket to pay an artist to do it. You know, paying an actual human to create it. And I feel like if you have a large following and a platform, you should lead by a good example. And using AI at this level, to me, is not setting a good example for inspiring creatives. I'll finish this little talking point off by saying, artists, even if you're a small one, don't use soulless AI art. You can literally go onto Fiverr and pay someone for an extremely cheap price that will be hungry for some work. And I could ramble more on about AI, but I think I'm just going to leave it there. Another problem I think there is that there seems to be a big misconception that because art is more accessible to everyone, that it must mean that it's easier to pursue a career in that.
Wrong!
The accessibility does not also mean the quality of art increases as well. In fact, it is much more accessible that it's much harder to stand out from the crowd. Because your music session named Cool Hip Hop Beat 1 will sound like Cool Hip Hop Idea number 2 by Zach over here. It would almost be like if everyone could afford a supercar. They would no longer be seen as special, and it would be hard for a new supercar to stand out. And I remember a video that Anthony Fantano did in a response to Rick Beato, who is a music creator, who basically expresses in his video that the magic of music is disappearing, and that it's easier for artists now than it was back in the 70s.
Past this point in the video, Rick makes a very, very, very bold statement that I have to stop here and quote and address directly. And that's that dependence on technology prevents people from being able to innovate, which is honestly like mind-blowing for someone in Rick's position to say. And what's even funnier is that he boldly throws that out, but follows it up with, I could be wrong on that.
The creative dependency on technology limits the ability of people to innovate.
I don't necessarily agree with that at all. And I think I agree more with Fantano in this case. And I will link this video below if you want to know more about it. And you know, you hear like stories of back in the day where there's a band playing in a club and there so happens to be a talent scout or a manager that's listening. And then after the band's done the set, they have a conversation with that said person and they're pretty much good to go. Signed to EMI. EMI! Obviously that still happens, but it's to a much lesser degree. But I think when it comes to it, our culture has a problem with oversaturation. Something that I can make in 20 minutes would have took like 2 hours in the 70s. And now it's not even seen as being impressive. More than ever, you have to be unique. It's why Billie Eilish came in at the right time. Her music was something that was new to the mainstream. Now you've got the Billie Eilish clones who are like depressed teenage girls with the same soft voice.
My life fucking sucks. I'm an artist from the middle of nowhere. I've never gotten lucky or had any overnight success because I refuse to sell my soul. My life is pretty boring, but I know my music is special, and my videos are gonna win a Grammy. The only thing I don't have is a friend, because my best friend, who I thought was my biggest fan, turned out to be my biggest hater. I don't need her though, because hopefully I have you. Let's prove her wrong by blowing this shit up. Sharing with everyone, clicking the link in my bio so we can get to 1 million streams in the first week. When our song goes platinum, I'll look at the streams and remember you, a real friend that changed my life. But for now,
get out of here. Get out of here!
There's a lot of trend chasing that goes on and hoping to be the one that breaks through. And you get professional music marketers online telling you that you yourself, the artist, must promote your music. So position your phone in front of yourselves, hit that record button and say,
did I just write the song of the summer?
And show your little tune. You have to trick people into why they should take time out their day to listen to you. It's all about manipulation. Imagine if Elvis was like, did I just make the song of the summer? Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling on right now. I just feel like it's hard in 2024 being an artist. Like it's hard enough without the stuff that I've mentioned. There's so many problems that I could tell you that I struggle with. But it's just the pure passion and enjoyment I get that does it for me. That keeps me sailing on. Because I know it's something I value. Whenever I'm creating, I'm never in the headspace of, okay, what would the radio play? But the radio, I need to keep it under 3 minutes 20 seconds because the radio won't play it. I'm not thinking that at all. I'm just doing whatever makes me feel the best. And that's the purity of art. That is the sole reason for art. It's self-expression, and today's world seems to be trying to take that away, to make it into a content machine that gets views and produces more paper. Feels like everything's revolved around getting more money in the pockets. So everything I've listed, the fact that AI is on the rise, the social media influence, the oversaturation, leads my thought process down a darker reality where perhaps artistry will be changed forever. But hopefully I'm just wrong and a dumbass for thinking that. But regardless, thank you for spending your time with me.
I believe that art is the only form of activity in which man shows himself to be a true individual and is capable of going beyond the animal state, because art is an outlet towards regions which are not ruled by time and space. To live is to believe. That's my belief.